Welcome back to my video blog. I still don't know what it's going to be called yet, if I call it anything. So today's date is 29th of January 2018. It's my 29th consecutive run. I say run. I got my shoes on, my trainers, my shorts, my top, my hat, because the weather's cold. I go out and jog, walk, depending upon my breathing rate, knackered rate, and general, however it is I'm feeling at the time. Today was my best run ever, in the sense that I've got my three kind of runs I got going depending on how I'm feeling. I got my smaller run, which is maybe about 15 minutes, my middle-sized run, which is about 20 minutes, and my larger run, which is probably around 25 minutes. So not big at all. I had someone overtaking me yesterday. You know, they're Visi-Gear, which is great. You should wear Visi-Gear. I don't. I just can't be bothered. He overtook me, and for the first time, actually, I was comfortable with that because I'm becoming more comfortable with me and my growth, who I am, maybe, which is a big difference. A small difference, but noticeable. So today, I guess, just the idea of what I started this off with doing, knowing about the small steps. I had this like little tagline in my head that said, lower your expectations in life for a better life. Lower your expectations for a better life. And if you had that as a punchline, lower your expectations for a better life, people would be thinking, oh my god, that's you're giving up, settle. Nah. It's society which I think raises our expectations. I'm not really going into it. There's so much information out there. Even some of the creators of Facebook are saying how toxic the social media enterprise, needing to be validated by everything and everyone around you, from the labels you got on your shirt to the thumbs up. So these expectations, they're not ours, but we own them. We take possession of them and call them our own. So I was just thinking, the smaller we allow ourselves steps for success, being whatever it is you want to achieve, whether it's sort of a moustache that does that, who cares? You've got to grow it day by day. You can't force that, right? You can't say, well, I'm gonna do a big growth today. It doesn't work like that. But in our heads we're going, well, if I don't have my moustache, I can't be like all the other people with moustaches. Just an example, because I can see my own facial hair in the screen with my little dangly giblet here. Okay, so the other thing I was thinking of, which I didn't really want to forget, which of course now I'm trying to think about it, I've forgotten. I don't know, but the first thing that comes to my mind is fitness. I've noticed today that although I was still out of breath, chest was heaving, my rhythm was better. I started off seemingly better. I had a bounce in my step. I wasn't gagging for breath, like my chest hurting. There's razor blades in my chest like it has been before. And I've never run, in 29 days, I've never run going, just whatever was comfortable. Sometimes my little steps were probably no bigger than, my footsteps before, the length of my feet sometimes, especially going uphill. It's like little, toot. But then if I could call that not walking up the hill, then in my head, click, I've not walked up the hill, I've done something else. Some sort of run-esque jog thing. And all these little tiny little things help. My getting up in the morning, still really difficult. Less difficult today because I didn't get up till 8 o'clock, because I had a nice lie in. I even had a coffee before. Why I set the rules. I set the expectations. Way down. It seems weird even saying my expectations for my life is so small. But it's not my life. It's my expectations for my steps towards my goal, which is up here. I mean, I think I'm running 365 days consecutively. When I first started, I thought that seems pretty big. But now when I was doing my post calf muscle stretches, which is the only thing I stretch purposefully, you know, as a warm up or a warm down, is my calf muscles. Because I run on my toes, not on my tiptoes, but on the kind of like the, you know, I try to get the ground to hit here. You know, when I'm tired, my heel will, you know, hit the floor, but generally I try to run on my front end of my foot because of the, if you think about the hinges, it's much more of a compression. Whereas if you're hitting on the ball of your foot, the shot goes straight up to your knee, straight up here, and straight out. You know, decreasing level. Whereas if you're hitting on your here, you're not getting that shock. You're getting a suspension thing. Plus, you're exercising calf muscles much more. You can have more defined calf muscles. You can have more spring in your step. It's just a generally better workout, and it makes a much difference on my run. Harder, I think it's slightly harder, as in you're feeling it because your muscles are working more, because you're having to resist the down pressure, and then you have to spring back up off that. But which maybe makes it more difficult to begin with. But if you're, you know, taking it easier, then you're not really going to notice it. My rhythm was better today. My pace was quicker. Even we were running up, so running. I would say today was my first day I consider I actually ran uphill. It was a jog, but it was a run. You know, I'd overtake a walker, which I think constitutes a run or jog, whatever. Don't really care. Yeah, so that was cool. I've got two kind of slightly big hills there. I say big only relative to I don't know, sort of incline like that, whatever that is. I don't know. For about 100 meters, probably no more than that. But you know, even the thought of it before, when I first started out, the thought of it would knacker my head, would knacker my everything. Whereas now I was like, before I even got there, I thought, yeah, I feel I can do it. I feel the difference in my body when I'm running. I'm sure it's having an impact on other things I'm doing. Like I'm writing, I just feel like I can do more because I'm doing more. Maybe that's what it is. You know, I was writing a little story for a short screenplay yesterday, and I really got into it. I did 3 pages, and only started with the title. Right? Started just with the title. I mean, I think that's a premise for everything in life, isn't it? What we do, you know, you just get out the front door, take a step, that one step, you know, could be a 5-minute jog, 5-minute walk, 5-minute crawl. Who cares? It's 5-minute anything outside if you wouldn't be outside. Who goes into the shop for a pint of milk and comes out with a pint of milk? Hands up. No, me neither. I go in for a pint of milk, come out with a basket, milk, bread, eggs, honey, chocolate, whatever. But that's my point. You go in for one thing, and how many times do you actually ever do just that one thing? If you commit, walking in those doors of the shop, yeah, you get it. Small steps, people. Small steps. Just thinking, I don't know whether my age has got anything to do with it. You know, kind of I'm 38. Midlife stuff going on. How much more can I do it? I don't know, it's all in there. But either way, when I was doing my post stretches, I actually saw myself a bit like, you know, that dude from the character. No, I was thinking the actor, sorry. You know, Forrest Gump, when he runs. The character Forrest Gump, like he's not a character. You know, he's running, he's got his beard, he's trudging through, and you know, how can you not think what an awesome, you know, behaviour that is? I actually saw myself as someone like that. You know, could be approaching 50, and you know, I could have been running every day for the next 10 years. Definitely 365. I see it. I actually saw it for the first time that I actually am that person. So it's real in my head. Boom. for the first time. It's not an aspiration now, it's a shopping list. There's no reason why I can't get it. Just incremental steps. I'm living it. And I wanted to experiment with it. Okay, it's not done, but I'm feeling it. Well, I feel like I want to waffle. My energy's up here. But my, I don't know. But I'm also kind of quite centered with it. Feeling good. I want feedback. I want other people to go, oh, what about this? What about that? Diet. Diet is probably having a massive impact. I'll just go over quickly what I'm doing. Maybe I'll do a bigger show of it or an explanation of it later. I am drinking most days, any time of the day, it doesn't really matter. I try to do it in the morning or last thing at night. Get one of those shaky bottles, an egg, maybe 2, raw, hemp milk, shaken, some hemp milk. Before I put the hemp milk in it, I put some maca powder, half a teaspoon, 2 big teaspoons of wheatgrass powder, at least 2 big teaspoons, at least, of spirulina powder. Look it up, these things. Spirulina. What? Some cacao, which is the rawest form of cocoa powder. Just a tip of that, not a lot, because I drink a lot of raw, cocoa drinks anyway. What else? A little bit of Korean ginseng, just a little bit because it's bloody expensive. Some half a teaspoon of ginkgo, as in a G, if you've ever heard of it before. Ginkgo biloba. Bit of that. What else? I'm sure there's one other thing. Hemp powder. A good teaspoon, if not 2, maybe 3 of that. But I've run out of that a couple of days ago. I'm using this vegan protein powder that I bought ages ago, over a year ago, and haven't used it until now, from Aldi's or something like that, which makes a big difference in the taste, because I'll be honest with you, with the spirulina, it tastes like fish food. In fact, it is fish food, as in fish eat it. We can eat it as well. It's an algae, and those little fish flakes used to feed you goldfish. It smells like that. But who's it? I can't remember which medical philosopher said. Was it Aristotle? Or it could have been the other dude, who I don't know. He said, food is your medicine. No, let food be your medicine, medicine be your food. So I don't need to hold my nose. That's just an exaggeration of to get it down your neck. Give it a good shake. Leave it for an hour. Sometimes, if you can, let it dissolve. Not the egg, but some of the powder. And I do it from a little tea strainer, just to help it dissolve quicker. Anyway, that jam-packed with protein and amino acids, I think that makes a big difference. Another point, I've been doing that a lot over the last year. Goji berries, other things. My health, evidenced by my sickness record, which I could probably get from work, I don't recall in the last 365 days being off sick. I don't even know if I said it in my last video, but typically around October, December, I'm ill twice. I'm off work twice. Maybe twice in December. Beginning of December, towards the end of December, thinking, oh my god, Christmas, I'm going to be sick for Christmas. And I'm a bit for Christmas, but I never wiped out for Christmas, because the first episode got in bed, and the second time kind of rebound sickness, whatever. But not this year. Hasn't happened. So I don't even need to touch wood, because it hasn't happened. It may happen, but what I'm saying is, it's a notice, it's evidence that my diet is changing. I don't eat meat. I'm dairy reduced. I do eat meat, dairy, because I love chocolate. A bit of ice cream every now and then. Not often. Lower the threshold. I'm not a vegan. I'm not a vegetarian. Moral superiority. Be flexible. Until next time, get back to me, give me some questions.